Well, before I even think of starting our show, um,
Yes.
I just wanted to say a few words about my very good friend Scott Adams. Scott and I have coffee every morning. We're the best of friends. True, he has never met me. And one of my saddest things in life is when Charles Schultz died, I never got to meet him either. Uh, Creator of Dilbert says he has the same cancer as Biden. Excuse me. Scott Adams, the cartoonist who created the comic strip Dilbert, said on his podcast Monday that he has the same kind of aggressive prostate cancer as former President Joseph R. Biden Jr., and that it had spread to his bones. He has only months to
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
live. Yeah, I know. I've been giving Scott a hard time. He says doing comics is a lonely one-person job, and I've been joking around. Scott, you're doing it wrong. Yeah.
Well,
Um, well, bringing on that note,
yes, sweetheart.
from Boston, in the ironically named Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in the upper right-hand corner of the United States that we call New England, continent of North America, rotating at 900 miles an hour on the blue marble that is the Earth, racing at 19 miles per second around the local star, what is Sol, the fashionable western spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, dimension 616. Fido the comic strip. All opinions and views are solely those of the comic strip Fido, and in fact, not necessarily those of the completely uncancelable and valued employee, creator, and handsome man about town, Charles Lincoln Crusoe III, who actually has no opinions of his own. Not even about prostate cancer, which, by the way, I'm a survivor of.
Yes, you are.
So, Scott, you could have got your fucking ass to the hospital. Sorry. So, amidst aromatic clouds of fragrant secondhand smoke, today we might actually get some work done, but don't hold me to it. We shall begin today's show with everyone's favorite segment, What the Chief Colorist Hath Wrought. A segment weekly that tests the vows of a 20-year marriage. Where are you, Scott? Why don't you join us for today's show? I'm actually kind of choked up here.
I know. Well, it's important.
All right, we have Fido and Bogash. What gets me about drawing a comic strip is I have no fucking idea what I'm going to do the next week, but something always comes out. And pretty sure Scott has no fucking idea what he's going to do the next week. And we'll never get to find out, what came out. There are no bad dogs, just bad dog owners. I'm not a bad owner. How many cats are around here? I am a bad owner. Let's see, how's the chief colorist do here? Yeah, it looks like she's done a okay job. She's finally settled on the cat tree. That's good. I'm going to just toss this one away. The story's been recorded and it's ready to go up. Here is the Tuesday. We have Fido and Bo in the park. Bo throws a ball here. Fido, fetch the ball. Good boy, give it here. Why? So I can throw it for you to fetch again. But I have it now. Give me the damn ball. Fetch. Here is the Wednesday. We have Felicia and Bo. Felicia says, I'm hungry. Feed me. Hey, there's Fido. He appears in his own comic strip. Go figure. I'm hungry. Feed me. I don't want fish. You got any tuna? She gives him the tuna. No, I don't want tuna. I was just asking if you had any. She dumps it on the floor. How about salmon? Do you have salmon? No. That's what I want.
Oh, no. Being difficult.
Here is the Thursday. We have Bo, Fido, Felicia, Closet Cat. Dry cat food? We don't eat this stuff. A cat has a delicate palate, demanding only the finest cuisine. Oh, so she kicks his food off the table. Can I have that? No, it's mine. Yeah, I'm glad Chief Pillar realized that was a piece of cheese. And we can't have a burger without cheese in it.
No, of course not.
Yeah. All right, let's put that aside. Here is the Friday in the bar. Do I have something in which I can do the standard Fido? Yeah, we do. Blowing up our nose. There we go. Okay, Fido, Dino, and Mia. We haven't seen Mia in a while, have we?
No.
Dino says, I need to find a job. You remember that he used to be a school teacher. He lost that job. But before that, he was a henchman. I need to find a job. Maybe you can come back to your old job with me. I appreciate your help, Mia, but the cat boss will never hire me back. What makes you think that? And, sign. Now hiring henchmen must be intelligent, loyal, and not Dino. Can you guys see this on the camera? This is the ink. See how it flashes in the light? This is the supposed Speedball Super Black. It's got a enamel in it, which causes that. So I've been trying to find an ink that doesn't have an enamel in it, so it doesn't flash black like that. So we'll get back to ink later on. Let's put that aside. Here is the Saturday. We have Bo and Fido. Dogs used to help men hunt. We worked together as an effective team to bring home dinner. Dogs would chase down the prey and men would capture it. Do you still have those ancient canine instincts? I'll get the takeout menu. Okay, I got my phone right here.
That works.
It's Saturday. Here's the starting of a new week. We're in June already. The chief colorist has started to work on this, but she hasn't finished it, as you can tell. We have Fido, Closet Cat, Felicia. They're on the cat tree. And there's Bogash. Later on, you see Dino. He's in the back of the pickup truck. So all the animals get to sit in the front. Even Felicia has a seatbelt on. And Dino's in the back of the truck where the humans belong. Like luggage. Come on, everybody. Pile into the truck. It's vacation. Here we are. An empty field? Yeah, go out there and frolic. The cat frolics. Felicia, of course, is checking out the panel, the edge of the panel. Fido's looking nervously back over his shoulder. And last panel, the boys are at home. How long is the vacation? Should take them a couple of days to find their way back here.
Oh, no. Didn't he just have a joke about him being a bad owner?
He is a bad owner.
Yeah.
Give that one to the chief colorist so she can get to work on it. And this is the Tuesday. Now, usually I would have the Tuesday inked by now. Like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's all inked. But this Tuesday isn't inked because I wanted to ink it today. So I can show you the acting talents of our characters here. See, Fido's looking, they left us here. So panic. Well, Closet Cat's still frolicking in the background. And Felicia, cool, calm, and collected, but just look at that little upturn of her tail, a little bit of a crack in her character. So they've just realized that they've left them in the field. They left us here. And Felicia says, they'll be back. They can't live without their cat. I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Let's just get home before they realize anything. So we'll ink this one today and talk about acting as far as it goes with cartoon characters. Something Scott Adams rarely had to worry about making his characters act. Okay, sorry. Here we go for Wednesday. They're walking home, and Closet Cat announces, I've got to go. Where's the litter box? We're in the wild. Do what wild animals do. So I just hold it. I think I see a gas station up ahead. Maybe they have a clean restroom. Mm-hmm. I kind of like how they denote being in the wild. I mean, you can tell they're in a suburban neighborhood. It has a chain link fence. There are houses in the background. This is someone's front yard. In the gutter, they're walking in the gutter. Yeah, they're in the wild. So I'm going to give this one back to the chief colorist to finish.
Oh, to start, really. I don't think
you got to start. Yeah. Here is the Thursday. I still have to do the background, but it's just cityscape. Felicia announces, we're lost. Let's ask that homing pigeon. They go up to a pigeon. Can you help us get home? Sure, follow me. And the pigeon, of course, takes them to his pigeon coop. What? This is home. And as they're walking away, Closet Cat munching on a chicken wing. That wasn't a complete waste of time. I needed a snack.
No.
They're cats. All right, here is the Friday in a bar. And we have Dino, Bo, and Jane. Jane says, "Where's Fido and Felicia? They're on vacation." That's very nice of you. And Dino says that it's more of a vacation for us. Well, I'm sure they're enjoying themselves. And meanwhile, on a rainy road, we've got if you look in the background, there's going to be a guardrail. So they're on the side of a highway. And it's raining. They're hitchhiking. Fido's got a dress, and he's like flashing a little bit of leg, like they did in that old Hollywood movie. He's got his things stuffed with tissues, his tits stuffed with tissues. Closet Cat's here with Boston written on a sign. Felicia's got an umbrella. And Felicia says, "Don't accept the ride if the driver looks creepy." Oh yes, they're enjoying themselves. So let's put those two suckers aside. See, Scott did all his work on a computer, so all they got to do is erase the computer, and all his stuff is erased forever. I at least have this on paper, so all we need is one good fire, and all my stuff is gone forever.
No, you've got the backup online.
Well, where do we begin? So I'm going to do some inking. I was really upset with the speedball ink because it started to collect all sorts of ink snots on the brush. So I cleaned out the old the ink bottle, and I was going to put in the new ink we got from Blick, Black Cat. And it looked really precarious pouring the ink into the bottle. So I did a short on the iPhone that went on my main site's page. And for a response to that short of me pouring this ink into this bottle, I got from Blick Art. Yeah. Pull this down.
I guess they keyed into to whoever talks about it.
Yeah. Well, me and Dick Blick, we're like about as close friends as Scott Adams and I are. We hang out every morning. And I said, Blick Art responded to my short. "Wow, we had a ton of anxiety watching this!" Exclamation point. Smiley face, a little sweat and thing. "Just a little background. Black Cat India ink isn't new. It's new to us. Let's get right down to it. The lights turn off when I leave a room. Something is brand new, and it's the first time I've tried it. All right." "It's been made according to the same formula for more than 100 years. Originally made for show card writers." I think those are probably the guys who did the before teleprompters existed. Cue cards, yeah. "There are also Black Cat tempera paints, by the way. The wide bottle is good for wide sign painting brushes." Not really. I've seen wide sign painting brushes that are about that big. But where do we get to the meat of this? "And specialty lettering pens too big for a standard inkwell. For artists who like to transfer ink into a smaller reservoir, we recommend the economical 16-ounce bottle." Basically, they're saying, "Hey, you cheap bastard, buy the big bottle." "Which has a squeezed top to make filling inkwells and other instruments easy and mess-free." Yeah. Our old ink, always look for Cthulhu, a sign of quality in ink, would have a stopper, which was also very useful for such thing. Here's the thing: I can never fill that. I can only look. It's only like a third of the way up. What kind of sucking noise do you need to fill that entire dropper? All right.
Y'all gonna get another response from Blick.
Makes it easy and mess-free. So thank you for your quick response, Blick. They almost responded like immediately.
Yeah, it was very, very funny.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. It's like I think they've got someone on the internet, like whenever anyone mentions Blick, quick, get in there. So I might do #Blick on the description here. Let's see, we were going to get inking here. So as you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet. So I have to wear this, a glove, to keep me from getting any more of my filth onto the page. And since I've got some finished pencil here, I probably should also put down a piece of paper because, as I've demonstrated in the past, these Blackwing pencils do tend to smear and smudge when you rub on them. So I've got to find a piece of paper to put down. Hey, Bill Belichick changed the name of his boat, you know.
He did.
Yeah. Well,
You've been saying he should.
well, yeah. Obviously he has been because he was calling it 8 Rings. See,
Yes.
I was on when I knew his boat was called 3 Rings, and I guess when he's been winning. But he's changed the name of his boat to 1 + 8 Rings, which has led to speculation that he is now engaged to his little cheerleader, Jordan Hudson.
God.
Yes. Bill, today's magic word is prenuptial. Now, can we all say it together?
Prenuptial.
Thank you. And I just want to know, what does poor little Nike think about this? You know, it's always the dog who suffers.
It is. And he doesn't want to step
All right, Bill, get out of here. Speaking of pathetic old men, the news is that Bruce Springsteen has lost his advertising contract with Jeep, but actually, it's not true. This is a parody website that said Jeep is parting ways with Bruce Springsteen after his controversial comments on stage in Europe. The Jeep name stands for American unity, not divisiveness. It's time for Bruce to move on. Losing the contract will cost Springsteen $12 million a year. Was the original story, but actually, doesn't the Jeep name stand for overpriced, expensive, poorly built vehicles? I thought that was what it stood for. So the phrase, the thing that got Bruce in trouble with a lot of America was the Mighty E Street Band is here tonight to call upon the righteous power of art, of music, of rock and roll in dangerous times. In my home, the America I love, the America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration. No, the Bidens were voted out. Tonight, we ask all who believe in democracy and the best of our American experiment to rise with us, raise your voices against authoritarianism, and let freedom reign. So in response, the president has said, I see that the highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes on a foreign country to speak badly about the president of the United States. Never liked him. Never liked his music or his radical left politics. And importantly, he's not a talented guy. Just a pushy, obnoxious jerk who fervently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool, and our worst ever president, who came close to destroying our country. I'm saying this like a Kennedy. Who came close to destroying our country.
I was trying to figure out how you were speaking.
I can't do it. I don't do impressions. I can't do a Trump.
But you were veering off into something very specific. And
I was veering it to Kennedy, actually.
I know.
If I wasn't elected, I would have been gone by now. Sleepy Joe didn't have a clue as to what he was doing, but Springsteen is dumb as a rock and couldn't see what was going on. Or could he, which is even worse? This dried up prune of a rocker, his skin is all atrophied, ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back to his country. That's just standard fare. We'll see how that goes for him.
Where was this then? I thought it was in America he did this.
Nah, I don't. Again, I'm not really.
Don't care, actually.
Don't care. Yeah, just kind of funny seeing a president and a dried up old rocker has been fighting. Speaking of dried up old has-beens, hey, Disney is back in the news. Obviously, we're going to beat up on Disney and Kevin Feige. I guess they heard me last week when I said that there was no script yet for Avengers Doomsday because Avengers delayed. Marvel pushes Doomsday and Secret Wars back to December 26th in 2027. So think they'll have a script by then? I hope so. And speaking of not really having a script, The Fantastic Four, not that one. I mean this one. Marvel orders emergency reshoots for the Fantastic Four. Yeah, we heard about the emergency reshoots. Now they've confirmed it, and we still are afraid that we might be dealing with Mary Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby here. Actually, let me get rid of this one because you really can't see nipples all that much now, can you? Let's go back to the original one. I originally blurted out this with some ink because I thought maybe we could see nipples, but Fido the comic strip deserves to look at a pretty woman.
Hey.
I've got this cardboard up here for better sound, so I can't see you.
Oh, okay.
So here's our candidate for pretty women to watch it. If they're going to do some reshooting, they've got to do some recasting. Get rid of Pedro. Hey, you had John Krasinski, Jim from The Office. He was likable enough. Did he not click enough DEI cards? Whatever. But Pedro probably should be recast along with the Silver Surfette. But Pedro is in the middle of a bit of a PR nightmare. At the wrap party for The Last of Us, he did this embarrassing dance on stage where he licked a glowing rainbow baton like a penis. It made a lot of people uncomfortable. So I'm guessing that he's got the PR people out there right now, and they're all trying to clean up this mess. And I'm not saying that Wen Lee Ma from The Nightly is a paid agent of Pedro Pascal, but she did write this story. Cannes 2025, why The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal is blowing up your social feeds. A film festival as glitzy as Cannes always attracts big stars, but for all the Nicole Kidmans, Tom Cruises, Angelina Jolies, and Scarlett Johansson's instances, which attendee has been blowing up everyone's social feeds this past weekend, Pedro Pascal.
I squeeze your head.
Yeah. Women and men want him. And women and men want to be him. Careful, Wendy, you might out him. Pascal is everyone's favorite actor, a generation-spanning celebrity whose irrepressible charisma makes him undeniable. Period. Undeniably what? Undeniable.
You cannot deny he exists.
You cannot deny that he isn't. He is the most Pedro Pascal on this Pedro Pascal planet. Mm-hmm. He's a cultural force, recognized for his thespian talents. The man can act, as well as his public persona. Whether he's the supportive big brother to his sister Lux, a transgender woman, and decrying the J.K. Rowling for her anti-trans stance, or playfully cheek-kissing Alexander Skarsgård during a Cannes premiere. You really shouldn't be kissing. Here he is kissing, what's his name from Star Wars? Whatever. Oscar. Here's him cuddling with Oscar Isaacson.
What?
It's just, yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm in that kind of mood today. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just stop giving him the press. Maybe he'll go away.
But it was his appearance at a photo call and a press conference the next day that really captured everyone's attention. Wearing an all-black Calvin Klein ensemble, his sleeveless tank was cut low on both sides, giving a tantalizing peek at Pascal's overall physique. His biceps on show was a bourgeois moment for the internet. But it would be anywhere near show-stopping if it wasn't part of the bigger package. Part of that is his willingness to be political at a time when several actors have clamped up, maybe humbled by their lack of influence in the 2024 presidential elections, because every Hollywood studio is treading lightly in the face of the Trump administration's legal tussles against their parent companies and subsidies. Well, yeah, you sort of lie in a news report, you're going to get sued, CBS. Yes, your old school celebrities such as Jane Fonda and Robert De Niro are the ones who have always been Bolshevik. They're calling him a Bolshevik. Didn't Pedro like escape communism? Yes, he escaped communism in what, Peru, to bring it to America.
Well,
Pascal, though, he speaks eloquently and compassionately from a place of lived experience. Yeah, you had to flee that, Pedro. You came here to America to be free. When he addresses trans rights, calling out Rowling for heinous loser behavior, after the writer threw her financial support behind an anti-trans legal campaign, wearing a pro-trans protected dolls t-shirt to the premiere of the Marvel movie The Thunderbolts, he has a personal connection to the cause. Does he? What's his personal connection? Not that it should be necessary to have a family link, but it's hard to point at Pascal to accuse him of virtue signal.
You just read it. He has a twin sister.
Oh, does he? Oh, I didn't know that.
You just read those words.
A family link. I didn't know, but I didn't have the word sister.
No. Prior in this article, it says his sister, trans.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hey, I'm not even listening to what I'm saying. So, anyway, this puff piece goes on and on and on. They're really trying to save Pedro. He's hurting. He's coming out in 2 movies for Disney this year. Mandalorian and Grogu, which has already been damaged because of the whole Lucasfilm Star Wars kerfuffle. And Fantastic Four: First Steps. I can already tell you, I have no interest in Fantastic Four. And it's not because of Pedro, really. It's Silver Surfer. And they plan on doing a solo project with the Silver Surfer. Just not interested.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you're doing reshoots. Well, get rid of Pedro. Get rid of the female Silver Surfer. And, hey, maybe you got a chance. I was gonna say Fantastic Four, see it in streaming, but I'll wait until it's good. Even if it is good, I'm not gonna see it in the theater. I'll see it in streaming. But if it's not good, I'm not going to waste my time watching it in streaming. It died in the casting. We told you this 2 years ago, a year ago. Why do I have Ironheart? Not that Ironheart. This Ironheart. Doesn't she look like a villain? Oh, here we go. Mike Didado, the creator of Ironheart, was not paid by Disney for anything in this Ironheart TV show. Leading us here at Fido the Comic Strip, we always want the cartoons to get paid. But I have to ask, you were paid the first time?
No.
Listen, you are a DEI hire to create a DEI character. Lucky you were paid at all. Why do I have John? Oh, we have John Lasseter on the board because he's no longer at Pixar. And Pixar's next film, Elio, it skyrockets toward a $300 million production budget. How do you spend $300 million on an animated film?
Especially about a frozen pizza.
Especially about a frozen pizza. And it's on the computer, too. So Scott will tell you that it's a lot easier to do this shit on a computer than it is to do it by hand.
Well, did I ask whether or not there were, like, overpaid stars as the voice actors?
Yeah, overpaid stars. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think there are.
I don't think so either.
Speaking of, someone made I have James Gunn here because what's a week without James Gunn bashing? Very funny line someone said on the internet this week. I'm not for, I'm very pro Second Amendment, but maybe DC should practice some James Gunn control. James Gunn's Superman is our only hope for a good superhero movie this summer, and we await his saving us, saving the superhero.
But is that one you want to see in the theater?
So far, the only one left.
That you want to see in the theater?
I guess. Why was that?
No,
unless it
I
sucks.
want to see it in the theater.
Unless it sucks.
Okay.
Then I might send it to streaming. And if it really sucks, the problem being, the good part is this is probably going to go to HBO or something like that. So
Yeah,
we'll get to see it. Fantastic Four is going straight to Disney Plus, and ain't nobody got that shit. So if I don't see Fantastic Four in the theater, I'll probably never see it. And oh no, what will I ever do? I mean, I did not see the Eternals. I don't feel I missed anything. All right, hey, let's get to work here, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, amidst all this tobacco smoke, we'd eventually get some work done, right? I've already chosen the brush because this brush has served us well all week. These brushes are made of the finest Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair. Dick Blick himself joins the Sherpas and climbs the Himalayas to get these hairs for my brush. I'd like to thank Dick Blick for his mountaineering skills.
You're just trying to get on their good side.
Dick Blick, one of the finest gentlemen on the internet. Hey, you respond to my posts. I love you. Thank you for the traffic, Dick Blick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. And we will continue to buy our art supplies from you. I got to say, the stores are not that good. They're generally run by people who couldn't make it as a Starbucks barista. But the online or the delivery stuff, spectacular. They do a great job. They really care. The delivery people are fantastic. Now, stop using FedEx and stop using UPS because those delivery systems suck. You want to use the United States Postal Service, believe it or not. The mailmen do their job. All right, everyone, we're gonna have Irving on camera one zoom into about here so we can see what we're doing. Maybe I can get Vanessa Kirby. There we go. Hello, Vanessa. Are you going to be Mary Sue Storm this year? That's good. Yes, we need. Irving, how about yeah, thank you. And center this. Jeez. You know, I've been calling Irving the internet's greatest cameraman, but he's got a lot.
We've put him through a lot. We've hired him, we fired him, we've hired him, we've fired him.
Yeah. Try to get this stuff straight, Irving. Well, anyway, that's going to be straight enough for us. Now, let's talk about acting in a comic strip character. This is a moment where Fido just realized Bo has driven off. Well, Bo and Dino have driven off in the pickup truck, and they left us. So I got him a little bit up here on his heels, on his haunches, his arm. He's not quite pointing. He can't quite get his finger up there yet. This full tension in the character. Let's see if we can translate that with ink. Thank you, Dick Blick, for your fine ink. Now, never, ever go straight from a dry brush right to a character because you're always going to be unhappy. So I'm just going to go up here on the page. Let's see. Well, hey, Vanessa. So nice to see you here. And let's... Vanessa is going to help us try to get the brush. This is... Brush is not quite working yet. I've got to get enough ink into it that Can you give me a fine line? No. Ooh. See, I can do the thick lines. I just can't do a really fine line. It won't. There we go. Just have to spin it enough to get
the tricks of the trade.
See, the reason why I want to get these first fine lines settled is because this is how I'd like to get Fido's nose in. It's too thick still. So I spin the brush in my hand and try to get to. There we go. See how fine that is? Close. All right. Thank you, Vanessa, for your help. Now you're a dirty girl. I got to get you off the page. Well, we seldom have a man on the page. We're joined by cartoonist Scott Adams. And let's see if we can get Fido's nose in right. Yeah. All right. Now, this is a moment of tense realization. The balls are in the center of, well, the pupils are in the center of the eyeballs to provide all that free space around here. It's like he's alone. You realize it's ultimate betrayal, I suppose. And I went a little heavier on the eyelashes than I usually do because we're zoomed in on the characters here to allow for more detail. So I grew up delivering the Boston Globe when I was 8 years old. My father thought that we should have a work ethic. So I was given part of one of my older sister's paper routes. 8 years old, I'm too young to be out there at 5 in the morning to deliver a newspaper. Well, my father didn't think so. So I started reading the newspaper, and of course, Sundays, the comics were always wrapped around the outside of the old Boston Globe. So I would, of course, always read the comics. And Peanuts, my favorite strip, was in the Boston Herald. Now, I delivered the Globe, but I could read that they delivered the Globe and Herald to the same drop-off point, so I got to read the Herald from the Herald delivery girl's pile before she arrived, because we who delivered the Boston Globe always got there early. The Herald people like rolled out of bed at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then I got there. But if you wanted your paper delivered early, you got the Boston Globe. So anyway, I got to read Peanuts. Peanuts was the reason why I decided I could be a cartoonist, because the cartoonist for Peanuts was Charles M. Schultz, and I'm Charles L. Croce. Hey, Charles is a good name for a cartoonist, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Perfect name.
So they had the Peanuts Treasury, which was one of the first collections of all the comic strips at the library at my grade school. And I nearly constantly had that book out. And I think I stole it when I moved to another city. I think I still have Bad Cartoonists. Go lay down. I think I still have the book. But I always wanted to meet Sparky, or call him that. Charles Schultz called himself Sparky for some reason. I always wanted to meet him, but he died before I ever became a famous cartoonist. So I guess I'm not ever going to get to meet Scott Adams either, which sucks. Yeah. Scott and I are stylistically different cartoonists. I draw. He's a writer. The writing is much more important in a comic strip than drawing is. Nobody gives a fuck if you can draw. I'm going to have to come up with a title for this. And if I leave Mr. Adams here on the page too long, much longer, he's going to be in the title. And I just don't want to have a downer like that. So
You just don't want to have one?
a downer like that. So come back here, Vanessa. Bring your Kirby's with you. Hello. Well, how are you, ma'am? That's very nice to hear. What? Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, the prick should have gone to the doctor. I agree. He's too busy being a lonely cartoonist. He wasn't doing it right. What's that, Vanessa? Yeah, that's right. I don't know why he's in your film either, Vanessa.
He's in your film?
Yeah, she said something about Mr. Pascal.
Oh.
Vanessa and I are having our own little conversation,
I
you
guess
know.
you are.
Vanessa and I have become very good friends, haven't we?
Okay. I know I've been quiet this episode, but I didn't think you had to resort to talking to the paper. I just don't know what to say because I don't.
Oh, shut up, Scott. We don't need to hear from you.
I'm just perplexed because I don't want to make you feel worse. I know how sad you've been.
It's when the paper starts talking back to you that you got to worry.
Well, you know what? Just for the sake of things, I'm going to worry a little bit now. Maybe for not, but you know.
Yes, sir. Hi, I'm Mary Sue Storm.
You don't really think they'll like recast and all that in these reshoots, do you?
It's their only hope.
I know, but I don't think they have that much time
Yeah.
to recast.
Um,
Do that much.
There was a whole thing about superhero fatigue, and
Mhm.
everyone saying, no, it's not superhero fatigue. It's bad movie fatigue. Well, listen, it's superhero fatigue now. All right.
Yeah.
Forget it. It's
We've leveled up.
I've given up. I have just completely given up that they are ever going to make, quote unquote, a good movie because they don't think they have to make a good movie. They think all we need to do is pull in Robert Downey Jr. and we'll put him next to this pretty woman, and we'll put him next to this other guy. You like this other guy too, don't you? Completely missing the point, and it's. I've talked myself to death on this. I've got nothing else to say. I'm out. Yes, it's superhero fatigue. Yeah, stop making them. All right. Now here, Fido's a little. Oh, I probably should have. I think I did explain the whole Felicia thing, where she has to put forth a brave front. Now I got Fido's eyes here. A little bit still worried and concerned. Get that little dip there. And Felicia's complete, bulletproof. They'll be back. They can't live without that cat.
I think they want to give it a try, though.
Well, it's a comic strip, and it's named after him, so therefore he's got to be in it.
At least every now and again.
Could you ever imagine firing Dilbert? Really? Would you ever fire Dilbert? Would he ever make redundant Wally? Never.
You said
So just a
Trump
little
called him.
bit of. Yeah, the president gave a call and said if there was anything he could do to help Scott out. Scott dropped the ball there. Scott, President of the United States asks you if there's anything you can do. Come to me. I can give you a list. But anyway, I would have said, Mr. President, don't settle with CBS. Yeah. Where was the president when I had cancer last summer?
Not the president.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was Biden then. Biden would have never called me. So I had prostate cancer, and I went through hormone therapy and radiation treatment, and they told me you go about 3 to 5 years if you show no symptoms, and you could say you're cancer free. But last time I visited the old doctor, my testosterone levels have just about returned to what they were before, and I'm showing no signs of cancer. So it appears as if the treatment was successful for me, but they caught my stuff really early. I guess Scott didn't have a good doctor or didn't go to his doctor. As this is a cancer that is highly treatable.
Wait a minute. He has prostate or pancreatic?
Prostate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he had pancreatic cancer.
Well, yep, aggressive prostate cancer. Same as if the former President Biden had a doctor that he could go to regularly, perhaps they would have caught his cancer early too. Isn't his wife a doctor? Nah.
Well,
But anyway, they caught mine early enough, so
thankfully.
so I appear to have survived prostate cancer. But I suppose the way this works is you become successful and then you die.
Stop it.
He said he had only months to live. Quote, my life expectancy may be this summer. Mr. Adams, 67, is a supporter of President Trump, who's been critical of Mr. White. Is he a supporter of Trump? Not really. He's
kind of not really.
He's about a supporter. He's about as much as I am a supporter of Trump. We'll take common sense, and we expect Trump to do something that's going to piss us off, and it's like all presidents do that. So you sort of say, okay. The only thing with I expected Trump to piss me off a lot more than he did. And he generally just does common sense sort of things, and generally, I'll leave the president alone to do his job because I don't want to do it. I'm a cartoonist. I want to draw a comic strip. I don't want to be leader of the fucking free world. I don't know why he wants to do it either. He could just be. He could be sitting back enjoying Mar-a-Lago. Instead, he's going through all this bullshit. People shooting at him and everything.
I don't understand.
I don't. For a million years, I cannot fathom why he wants to be president. He's not even like using it for corrupt means like Biden and everyone else did. He's not even being corrupt in office, which at least I expected him to enrich himself. But he doesn't have to. Like every president, barring maybe Jimmy Carter in my lifetime, has enriched himself in office, has left office with more money, and then they went in. It's the only. I think he's doing something wrong. This is the only guy who's left office. Last time he left office with less money. The hell are you doing, Trump? Why can't you be corrupt like every other friggin' president? What the hell? They say you're corrupt, but why don't you might as well just do it. You're gonna call you corrupt anyway, and they're gonna hate you. Might as well just go in there. Go in there and pull a full Obama. You hear Obama's daughter has to give the money back that she got from USAID. That will never happen.
How much did she get?
I think it was $3 million. I had to look it up. Yeah. It's not clear when Mr. Adams was diagnosed, but he said that he decided to share the news after learning that Mr. Biden had the same disease, in part because he hoped that Mr. Biden's announcement would draw attention away from his own. What are you worried about? Yeah.
Now that's interesting. So he's
Scott still has so much more to do in his life. So it bugs the hell out of me that he's got prostate cancer now. Joe's done. Yeah, all bipartisan stuff aside, he's not going to do anything else in his life if he ever did anything else to begin with. He's been in government service his entire life. Sure. Joe hasn't exactly lit up the world with any successes. People who do nothing their entire life but government service and they come out rich. Like this little bartender that I know in Brooklyn who was suddenly elected to Congress and suddenly she's a millionaire. But it's not against the law for a member of Congress to be corrupt. By the way, it's not against the law for a president to take bribes. You know that? Just have to get a president who won't take bribes, I suppose.
Where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that? Why the hell aren't you taking bribes? Oh, because Donald Trump doesn't need the money. You know how they have this sign? You have to be this tall to enter. You have to be this rich to be president. You know, if you can't be bribed.
You have to be rich enough to be able to be bribed. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah. Yeah, so this whole line about Scott Adams being a supporter of President Trump, he's no more a supporter of Trump than I am. So don't give us that bullshit. He's not a Trump supporter. Although I suppose they're going to call me a Trump supporter, huh?
Just not like a radical Trump. What do they call it? Trump despairing system?
Yeah. I guess if you don't openly Trump derangement syndrome. If you don't openly have derangement syndrome, you're a supporter.
Yeah.
I don't have open derangement syndrome. I just want America to succeed, and I'm pretty sure the president does as well. So, hey, we're on the same page there. There are some guys who were in the office in the past who I kind of doubted whether they wanted America to succeed because the way they talked, the way they acted, the things they did. But I'm pretty sure this guy wants the country to succeed. So fine, yeah. I suppose that's like the least we want in a job description. You want to be president of the United States? Yes. You want the country to succeed? Oh, I don't know. No, you're out. You're disqualified.
Sorry, next applicant.
If when asked if you want the country to succeed, you start talking about colonialism, you're out. That was like the biggest thing that struck me as a what moment when Obama was complaining about American colonialism. I'm thinking to myself, I'm a 20th century American. There's been no colonialism in my lifetime that I know of. You mean like the British Empire? Yeah, even then, even in the United Kingdom is not a colonial power anymore. We're looking for colonial powers in the world. China? I don't know. Let me get back to you on that one. Definitely not the United States. You're looking for slave-holding countries? You're not looking for the United States. And I do, for a fact, know there's still slavery in the world because I have family members who have dealt with it. I don't know. So, yeah. Here at Fido the Comic Strip, we don't have Trump derangement syndrome, but we're not, we would never be considered supporters of the president. We just want him to succeed. We want America to succeed.
I'm so middle of the ground that I'm almost boring.
Let's get back to Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa, how you doing, baby? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
All right,
Look at those
all
bedroom
right,
eyes.
all right.
Look at those bedroom eyes.
Your wife is right here. I know you can't see me, but I'm right here.
Wait a minute. Let's what expression do we want? I can't believe you said that with a straight face. Yeah, I think I made a mistake here, and then I put his eyes sort of in like a frown. And I'm thinking we should do big circles of wonderment here, rather than a slight frown.
Shock and awe.
Shock and awe. I can't believe you said that with a straight face. And I want to pull the eyebrows back a bit more. And let's bring even the ears back. See, I changed that on the fly. I can't believe you said that with a straight face. And the new thing I've been doing, his neck tapers to his body, a little bit bigger. Original thing in the character design was to have long necks. But I'm going to start tapering the necks a bit more. And the tail goes up. And let's get that in there. I guess we got to come up with a title for this one, and I want to come up with a title that doesn't say anything about Mr. Adams. We probably should call it Blick Art Supplies is Wonderful.
We love Blick. We love Dick Blick.
Gotta be careful with that.
That's why I said it like that. I know.
Highly recommend Blick mail order. Don't really recommend their stores. They hit or miss.
We have an order in right now.
Yeah, the mail order. Yeah, they're conscientious. They pack everything wonderfully. You got to see the paper comes through undamaged. Very rarely can I get this paper from the stores undamaged. It's like the employees don't give a fuck and they just toss them on the shelf, and just the corners get kind of bent and damaged a little bit. Like,
yeah, I remember the last time you got one from there. It was pretty
just
bad.
the corners would get dented a little bit. You see that little? It's nothing minor. It doesn't do anything. I don't care, but.
But it's just the idea of it.
When it comes through the mail order, they pack it, they sandwich it in the cardboard, wrap it with shrink wrap, and then put it in a box. It's just they care, the people at Dick Blick.
We care about Dick Blick.
Yeah. So we're going to call this Blick Art Supplies is great, because I don't want to call it Farewell Scott Adams, because I'm not going to say farewell to Scott Adams. Excuse me, a little bit of a frog in my throat there. I hope everyone doesn't mind that I'm going to go so crass with the title on this and give it all to Dick Blick.
I think
My favorite art suppliers.
I think
This is an unpaid ad for Dick Blick Art Supplies. We'll just call them Blick Art Supplies. I don't think they want the word Dick on there.
I don't understand why it's in their website. That's the only place I really see it.
See what?
Dick. Yes, I said it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna repair that for them. All right, we're gonna call it Richard. All right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna call them Richard Blick from here on out. All right.
We could just call them Blick. We don't have to have a formality. That's up to you.
Yeah, they should. I know this will never happen. They should do something about their stores. Their employees are trouble.
Yes, it's been a while that they've had.
The one in Cambridge in Central Square is horrible. Wow.
I don't know if I've ever gone into that one with you. I think I was always outside.
Oh, the parking sucks. Yeah. But going to Cambridge Central Square sucks anyway. We'll call this Blick.
Blick.
B-L-I-C-K.
Oh, I thought you said Blick.
Blick is great. Blick is good. Blick is great. Kiss my ass. Cancer. Prostate. Kiss my ass. Prostate. Cancer.
Don't get so sad.
Blick is good. Blick is great. Kiss my ass. Prostate.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, we are done here. Everyone who is drawing a comic strip at home, be sure to put the cap back onto your ink bottle. I don't need to tell you what happens if you forget to do that. The pubic squirrel hair brushes are available at Blick Art Supply. I recommend you wash them with a soap, warm soapy water. All soap is the same. Don't bother getting that brush clean. It's soap. You know, kind of. Yeah. Thank you for joining us for Fido Live number 150. Blick is great.
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye to the people at Google first, Rumble, and then YouTube.